Okay, hear me out. I think I'm in love with Riot Games, not because of Arcane, maybe a little bit, but because I once spent 2 hours reading about Shurima's Fall and enjoyed every minute of it. Actually, that's a lie. I don't read actually that much, so I went to the YouTube channel Necrit and he told me about Shurima's Fall, so I don't have to read. Anyway, I think no other studio makes the champion's backstory feel like it belongs in a fantasy novel. Okay, let me show you what I really mean when I say I love Riot Games. Let's talk about their games, gameplay, monetization, patch notes, community, events, esports, all of it. First of all, Riot doesn't just make one game. They've built an entire ecosystem. Right now, they have 4 major titles. League of Legends, their OG, the global phenomenon that's basically defined the modern MOBA scene. Valorant, their tactical shooter that's given Counter-Strike a real challenge. Teamfight Tactics, the auto battler that made strategy games cool again. And Legends of Runeterra, a card game that respects your time and your wallet. 4 completely different game genres, all live, all updated, and all free to play. And if that wasn't enough, they're working on a fighting game called Project L, or better known as 2XKO, and they're teasing a massive MMORPG. That's 6 projects across 6 genres. Keep in mind, it's one studio. Most AAA companies can't even handle a single one. Let's start with League. Say what you want about it, but this game has been running strong since 2009. It's been through metas, memes, rage quits, and reworks, and it's still one of the most played games on the planet. The fact that League is getting bi-weekly patches, champion updates, new items, rework, and full-on events, that's not normal for a 15-year-old game. That's insane. The champion roster is massive. The gameplay is always evolving during the seasons, and if you're into lore, every champion has their own unique story, and some of them are intertwined across each other, regions, countries, and cosmic scales. And the best part, Riot actually listens. Not always perfectly, but they patch, balance, and care. But League of Legends isn't just a game you can play casually. It's an esport. Riot Games took something started as a simple competitive mode and turned into the global phenomenon that is today. The League of Legends Championship Series Worlds is the biggest esport event in the world. Every year it's getting bigger, bolder, and more spectacular. You don't just watch Worlds for the high-level gameplay. Though, let's be real, it's insane. You watch it because of the storylines and the rivalries, the upsets. Feel the tension when the underdog team takes down the top tier team. You cheer for the players like they're your friends because Riot made sure they build up their stories too with documentaries, interviews, and social media interactions. The hype at Worlds is real. Whenever you're watching in the crowd or at home, you're part of something massive. One of the big misconceptions about League is it's only for sweats, tryhards, rank grinders, and so on. But honestly, that's not true at all, at least not for me. League is one of the few competitive games that actually let you choose your vibe. Wanna climb the master with your duo? Go ahead. Wanna hop into a ARAM, chill with friends, or spam emotes? You can do that as well. And Riot being smart about supporting their flexibility, they have rotating fun modes. Let me give you my top 3. Urf, ultra rapid fire. No cooldowns, like close to 0, 80% or something off. 0 mana costs, pure chaos. One for all, where 10 players play as the same champion, and it's either glorious or a complete disaster. Arena. Short, intense rounds that let you play League like a brawler instead of a 40-minute macro game. And of course, ARAM, all random, all mid. You play on Holding Abyss, you get a random champion and you just try to smack the others. Riot also did something most devs don't even try. They allowed the community to make their game easier to understand. Sites like UGG, Professor, Mobilitix, and League of Grass basically act like your in-game code. They tell you what runes you should take, which item are meta, and how hard is the champion you're gonna play. You don't have to figure everything out. The tools are there, the guides are there, the overlays are there. Riot doesn't fight it. They embrace it. And just when you think Riot is done evolving, they go and launch Valorant. Let's talk about that next. Valorant is Riot's answer to Counter-Strike, but with a twist only Riot could pull off. When they announced it, a lot of people rolled their eyes and thought, a CS clone with abilities? Seriously? But then it dropped and it worked. Valorant isn't just another shooter, it's a polished, competitive, and deeply strategic game. Riot didn't wait for years to start building Valorant's esports scene, they built it with the game. From day one, they were already planning international tournaments, regional leagues, and pro pathways. Now, VCT, Valorant Champions Tour, is one of the fastest growing esports scenes on the planet with insane production value and huge prize pools. Valorant isn't afraid to experiment either. New agents bring fresh mechanics that actually shift the meta, not just state changes or nerfing the weapons or something. They introduce new map that play differently instead of just reskinning old ones. They even added a premium mode, an in-game client tournament system, so casual players can feel what it feels like to compete as a pro. Show me any other AAA shooter doing that. I will wait. And again, just like with League, Riot communicates, dev updates, patch previews, community feedback, and real conversation with players. It's all there. Even when they mess up, they own it, they fix it. That level of honesty, it matters. So yeah, Valorant is clean, competitive, supported, and constantly evolving. It's what happens when a studio that listens builds a shooter from scratch. It's not just about copying what's work, it's about making it better. Next up, let's talk about how they brought the same energy into strategy games with teamfight tactics. What started as a quick response to the outages hype turned into one of the most polished and content-rich strategy games out there. TFT isn't just a copy of something that came before, it's a fully realized experience packed with creativity, seasonal update, and competitive scene all its own. TFT is one of those games easy to learn, hard to master. Every new set introduce a complete fresh roster of champions, traits, mechanics, and items, which means metas resets permanently. You never feel like you're stuck in the stall loop. You don't need cracked mechanics or 300 APM, just brains, timing, and a little bit of luck. Also, it looks amazing. Little Legends, arenas, animations, it looks like Riot took all the fun, goofy, and stylish elements of League and distilled them into a cute but competitive strategy game. And here's the thing, even the monetization feels fair. You're not paying to win, you're paying to flex your board in style. In a world full of fast-paced shooters and reaction tests, TFT feels refreshing. It's about strategy, not speed. Synergy, not sweat. And Riot nailed that feeling, without making it boring. That's not easy to do. Let's not forget, this is Riot's third game genre. MOBA, FPS, and now auto battlers. And they've crushed it each time. They even put lore characters from Runeterra, the world of League of Legends, into the game and 3D modeled them for some traits. Now let's talk about a game that no one expected. Legends of Runeterra. Those Riot's dive into a card game space, and honestly, it's one of the fairest, most player-friendly games I've ever seen. No loot boxes, no $100 decks, no meta-defying paywalls. You can build competitive decks just by playing. The game literally showers you with cards. You're not pulling random packs hoping for a specific card, you're choosing. You're in control. It also exists in the PvE mode or adventure mode in case you don't want to play against real players. And here's the wild part. Riot probably makes little to no profit on Legends of Runeterra. Why? Because the monetization is just that generous. You don't have to spend money to stay competitive, or you don't have to grind for months just to build one deck. Other studios would have shut it down by now or reworked it into a microtransaction trap. But Riot, they keep it alive, keep adding new content, and keep respecting their players. Also, if you're into lore, Runeterra goes deep. You will see moments between champions that League never had time to show. You will learn about the Freljord, Noxus, Shurima, all with amazing writing and voice acting. Legends of Runeterra doesn't just expand the universe, it brings it to life. So yeah, Riot's not perfect, but when it comes to games that respect your time, your wallet, and your brain, Legend of Runeterra proved that it's built different. And if this is what they're doing without profit, imagine what they're gonna do next. Let's talk about monetization. The good, the meh, and the Mordekaiser. Alright, let's be real. Riot is not flawless, especially when it comes to monetization. League and Valorant both run a gacha-style loot system for skins, capsules, orbs, bundles with RNG. And yeah, it can feel kinda scummy. You drop money and still don't get the skin you want. That fucking sucks. And it hits even harder when a lore-based skin gets locked behind RNG too. Like the Zan Uzal Mordekaiser skin, which is literally tied to his origin story. You just want him because it's important for his character. That kind of thing shouldn't be hidden behind a slot machine in my opinion. But here's the upside. It's all cosmetic. You don't have to buy anything to win. No stat boots, no power upgrades, no pay to win garbage. You can grind ranked in default skins and still make it to challenger, just like Faker. So yeah, the system could be better, but it doesn't punish you for skipping it. And that's more than you can say for the most AAA games today. So yeah, Riot is not perfect. Their monetization has its flaws, and sometimes community is rough. And yeah, bugs happened, data shifts, and balancing isn't always perfect. But despite all that, I still love Riot Games. Because Riot does something that the most AAA studios don't anymore. They care. They care about building actually games, not just products. They care about different game genres, different playstyles, different players. They care about community, about esports, about storytelling, and even about the little guy playing ARAM at 2 a.m. You can even talk to them in Valorant if you're lucky enough to play with a dev, which I'm not in my 1000th hour, but maybe you are. Oh, before I wrap this up, there's one more thing that never gets enough credits. Right support team. Whenever you've got a bug, a tech issue, an account problem, or just a question, their supporter is fast, helpful, and actually human. You don't get auto responses for days. You get real people who care, who reply fast, and who talk to you like a person, not just a ticket number. An industry where support often feels like yelling into the void, Riot's team actually shows up. Now let's get straight into the point. Whether you're a competitive grinder, a LoL nerd, or a casual TFT player, or someone who just loves watching Arcane, there's space for you in the Riot ecosystem. And most importantly, you never feel like you're milked, you feel like you are invited. Riot Games isn't just making games, they're building a world and I'm glad to be part of it. So yeah, that's why I love Riot Games. And if you don't yet, just give it a shot. Might be surprised. And quick shout out to Necrit, the one who pulled me into the league lore all those years ago. Wouldn't be here without you. Thank you, man. Link in the description. Until then, I will be chilling in the abyss, climbing the ladder, or dodging flashbangs in Valorant. Bye bye.